Welcome. Some people have been asking me about how I have my sliders set up. I have made some brief videos in the past, and it was mainly explaining what each thing did. Here, there's no explanation. It's just straight up sliders and the numerical value, and that is it. So first and foremost, the gameplay difficulties on Legend, timed pin mini game. I do have fatigue on when it comes to balancing. Just look at the numbers and then sort of like pause it. So like from AI standing strike reversal rate all the way down to AI combo rate. Go ahead and pause it right now and look at the numbers to see how it compares to you. Maybe my settings are worse, maybe they're better, okay? I've been playing around for quite a while, and so far I am quite happy with what I'm seeing, okay? Now you went all the way down to AI combo rate. So let's do now AI submission rate all the way down to AI dodge rate. So this is now the second one, the second list in the balancing there, okay? So go ahead and pause that, take a look at it. Give me some feedback if you want. I don't care. I'm not claiming this to be, again, the best, right? This is just what I'm working with. Okay, so from AI submission rate all the way to AI dodge rate. And then we are going to go like this. Now we're going to go from entrance run-in all the way down to stamina cost. Go ahead and pause that. Now the basic reversal window at 100, I just left there. I left it there at 100 to make it easier because the thing was so broken, and it still is. So I wanted to make sure that it was working, so it's not. So whether it's at 0 or at 100, for me, it does nothing. So I just leave it at 100. Okay, moving on. So that was from entrance run-in all the way to stamina cost. And now we're doing stamina recovery rate all the way down to AI difficulty damage scaling. Go ahead and pause it. Look at the numbers. We're good. Okay. This is a must for me as it doubles the, the damage, right? You can quite alter the difficulty of how much damage you're taking by changing this number. But for me, I strongly recommend putting it at 100. And then the last two is drag escape difficulty and carry escape difficulty, which I just left on the basic there, 50. Then when it comes to advanced, we've got the 3 different categories. We're going to do the pin difficulty settings. So again, from recent finisher influence player all the way down to recent finisher influence AI. Go ahead and pause it. Look at the numbers. Okay, we're going to move on to the next thing. And now we're going to go from previous finisher influence all the way down to the very end of the post kick out damage recovery AI, which is kind of a big thing. I actually have to elaborate on that quite a bit. So if we take a look at mine, this is that one that I made in my last video about a week ago, saying a small change goes a long way. Making it go from 60 to 70 makes it that much harder for me to kick out. And the enemy, the AI, I cranked him up to 80 because the higher the number, the harder it is, right? It used to be at 70 and they would just last too long for my liking. Having it at 80, it's like, okay, that really changes the flow, the pacing of the game into how much quicker you're going to be able to pin them regardless of how damaged their body is, right? So that one I wanted to emphasize, that whole post-kick-out damage recovery. So that one, play with it. That is arguably the single biggest tweak you can make. Again, if you put it at 0 for yourself or the AI, your match will last until the second coming of Christ. Like that? I should really work on my comedic skills. And if you have both at 100, oh my God, you're gonna get bitch slapped, and you're essentially gonna not be able to kick out, to make it dramatic so that you understand just how much of a difference this makes, okay? Like just 10 points higher made it noticeably more difficult for both myself and the AI to kick out. 10 points out of 100. That's only 10%. Yet I really noticed it. So fine tune that to your liking, okay? That is the most emphasis I want to put in all my sliders in this video is on the post kick out damage recovery. Okay? Moving on. Timed pin minigame. There's really nothing exciting here. The easy pin indicator flag speed, I find as you get your ass kicked, even having it at 0, it's going to be moving pretty darn fast, especially when the size of the zone of the slider, which I've kept at the default, you could see easy, moderate, difficult zone size. I kept it at the default, and it just gives that balance of difficulty for me, at least. And then again, the very bottom, I did want to re-emphasize just quickly the easy, moderate, and difficult pin kick-out zone. That's that bottom bar, the green one, you know, when it moves. I personally don't want it moving. I want it to be static, right? I don't need two needles going like this. It's bad enough trying to line this up with such a small, tiny, little rinky-dink, pipsqueak little flag. I don't need it moving on top of that. So that's the logic behind why I have my timed pin minigame set up the way I do. Okay? Is there a better way? Maybe. And then the last thing is the submission minigame. So attacker cancel threshold player, I just leave it on. We're going to go... Oh, that's the whole thing right here. Okay, great. So I can elaborate a little bit. The reason I cheat when I'm defending myself being put in a submission game is I find, especially on Legend, even in all the other iterations of WWE 2K games, the AI is overpowered. I would have it at 70 or 80. I wouldn't even be colored like on my body grid in the game, and I'm tapping out. I was like, it's the first armbar. I didn't even get slapped on the arm, and now I'm tapping out. So I thought it was just a little too much. So I'm really strong at defending myself from a submission at 90. 100, I thought it was a little overkill. 90 feels like a good balance for me. Same thing goes with the AI, but not quite as much. I don't find myself to be too overpowering with the submission. I don't want to make it too easy. I still want the, the AI to be able to kick out strongly, but just not quite as strong as me. So I left them at 80. Alternatively, you can obviously have it so that you just leave it at the default, but have it so that the attacker button press strength, when they're trying to submit you, is not that strong. Okay? You could drop that down to 25. But I've never done it. I've never tried with that variable. Okay? So for me, this has just worked pretty good. Really. Like, I'm really happy with what I got. Is it perfect? No. And as a matter of fact, as the ulterior motive of making this video, I want you to criticize me and say, no. Go ahead and try, changing this, and then I'll make a note, like on my phone or something like that, and I'll mark down what my value was beforehand, and then I'll play around with it so that we can get the best game out of the game, the best settings out of the game, so we can get the most out of our game. I can't speak. I'm too excited. Diablo 4 is launching in a couple of hours. And the last couple of times I've been checking my YouTube channel on the wrestling here, I only did it twice, and each time I'm losing subscribers. I was at like 934, 933. Now I'm down to 931. It's like, what the hell's going on? I gotta upload a video. I gotta let people know I'm still around. I'm trying to not overdo it like I do on my main channel. I post like almost half a dozen times a day. You don't want me turning into that in this channel. I'm trying to really get, some good growth here and not overdo it. But this has been requested from me multiple times, and again, I make no claim that this is good. But I'm enjoying myself immensely and quite drastically much more. There's much more joy from this game than last year's game because of all these intricate sliders that we can add with the pins and all that. Like, it makes a monumental difference. It is absolutely beyond what words in a dictionary can describe what these sliders can do. Don't forget to edit your match type when you're in universe mode. If it's not a one-on-one normal match, switch it up to something else so that the pin sliders work. so that this takes effect and you can enjoy the game as much as possible. There you have it. If you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with that algorithm. And if you didn't like the video, well, go ahead, give it a thumbs down. I'll bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your ass. Maybe that's why people are leaving. Shit happens. Can't be everybody's cup of tea. If you want to subscribe, did I already say that? Naturally, that would be great, but if not, I get it. There's a lot of people out there, Assemble, BDE, Small Afro, Macho T, and the list goes on. There's a plethora, a cornucopia, a quiver of wrestling YouTubers. And here I am, barely 8 weeks into this bitch, and I'm all like, yeah, subscribe to me, because, you know, there isn't already 27 other YouTubers doing the same fucking shit you are. Oh, Mastodon. He's really good, too. Yeah, maybe that's why I'm struggling. No, it's all good. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. And it should be soon. I know that there's been Zelda and my Star Wars game, and now Diablo and all the shit. Believe me, I have not forgotten about this channel. More excited about this one, like I said, than my main one. All right. Take care. Bye for now.